the legend they laughed at. The Galactic Confederacy's warcruiser Vox Magnifica hovered in low orbit above Delta Prime, its silver hull gleaming against the velvet darkness of space. Inside, the high-strategy chamber buzzed with dignitaries, admirals, and media delegates. Lights flashed, drones hovered, and diplomats sipped exotic liquors as the galaxy's elite gathered for yet another self-congratulatory summit. Admiral Vez'tar, towering and adorned in polished blue armor, stood at the center of the chamber's dais. With a proud sneer, he raised one clawed hand to silence the murmuring crowd. His voice, amplified by his thoracic resonator, boomed across the room. "Let us address the rumors infecting the outer systems," he began. "There are whispers, childish tales, really, of ships appearing from nowhere, entire pirate fleets vanishing, and shadowy warriors that leave nothing but scorched rock in their wake." He paused dramatically, watching the audience lean in. "They call them humans." There was a ripple of laughter. One ambassador from the Northern League actually slapped his knee. Vez'tar smirked. Yes, I, too, have read the ancient databanks. Primitive bipeds, wild, emotional, short-lived. Legends say they nearly destroyed themselves in endless wars and vanished into the void centuries ago. Convenient fiction. A young alien scholar in the crowd, Talon of the Vorthi Archive, stepped forward hesitantly. "Admiral, with respect, some of those tales are supported by artifact analysis. A derelict vessel found near the Grell Drift bore human genetic markers. And the weapons systems." Vez'tar waved dismissively. "Crude mimics. Artifact from scavenger hoaxes. Perhaps you've spent too much time buried in moldy relics, archivist." Laughter again. Talon lowered his head, burning with embarrassment. The Admiral turned to the holo-display at the chamber's core. A rotating map of the Confederacy's territories blinked with holographic pride. Millions of settled systems, trillions of subjects, fleets deployed in precision. "We are the apex," Vez'tar declared. "The Confederacy reigns supreme. There are no humans. There are only myths." But somewhere, light years away, a voice disagreed. Far beneath the barren crust of Earth's moon, deep inside a facility never listed on any galactic map, General Ava Cole watched the broadcast. She leaned forward, face stone-hard, hands clasped behind her back. Around her, a tactical war room pulsed with quiet energy, screens showing planetary scans, orbital models, troop deployments, all updating in real time. Her officers stood still, waiting for the order. The video feed ended. The room fell silent. Cole exhaled once. "Play it again. Last 5 seconds." The playback resumed. "There are no humans. There are only myths." She smiled. A small, dangerous smile. "Is the fleet in position?" A nearby officer nodded. "Cloaked and waiting at jump radius. Command structure fully online. Ground infiltration teams report all green. Local relays primed. We could be on-world in under 15 minutes." Cole walked slowly to the center of the war table, where a three-dimensional projection of Iovan Prime, the capital of the Confederacy, hung in the air. "Clean, peaceful, complacent. 70 years in hiding," she said quietly. "We gave them a galaxy of silence. We watched them grow fat, forgetful, arrogant." Her eyes narrowed. "And now they mock us." She turned toward her generals. "The President has authorized Operation Dust Reclaimer. Confirmed target protocols. No strikes on civilian population centers. We aren't here to annihilate." "But," said Commander Vega, "we are here to make them remember." Cole nodded. "Correct. Let the Confederacy know exactly what they try to bury. Make it clean. Make it loud." She reached forward and tapped a single button on the console. Command code accepted. Launch sequence initiated. Across the far side of the solar system, Earth's fleet shimmered into motion. Ships that had remained cloaked and dormant for years suddenly activated, behemoths of black alloy, bristling with weapons that had never been fired in public. They slipped silently into the jump corridor like predators beneath waves. Each vessel bore the insignia of a forgotten force, an eagle over a shattered world. Back on Earth, General Cole stood at the observation window, watching the first wave disappear into the void. "Let's remind them," she whispered, "that legends bleed." Back on the Vox Magnifica, Admiral Vez'tar raised his glass, basking in applause. The chamber echoed with cheers and self-congratulatory remarks. But high above them, in the cold vacuum beyond their shields, a distortion rippled across the stars. Unseen, unheard, unforgiving, the humans had arrived. The first 60 minutes. Midnight, Iovan Prime orbit. The skies above the Confederacy's capital world shimmered with golden clouds and twin suns, serene and perfect. Space traffic crisscrossed the upper atmosphere. Merchant cruisers, diplomatic envoys, orbital liners carrying billions in precious cargo. No alarms, no warnings, just another peaceful day under the galactic banner. Until the stars blinked. To most, it was imperceptible, a minor flicker, like a sensor calibration error. But within the Planetary Defense Command Tower, located on the orbital ring above Iovan Prime, technicians noticed something was off. "Sector 7 just dropped out of scan resolution," said one operator, adjusting his sensor array. Multiple relays unresponsive. His supervisor frowned. Could be a solar flare? No activity reported from either sun. Wait, Sector 10's also gone dark. We just lost power nodes across the North Band. 1 minute and 23 seconds. 3 orbital defense satellites exploded in perfect sync, detonated by kinetic rods traveling at hypersonic speed. Silent, invisible, unstoppable. No energy signatures, no particle trails. Just pinpoint destruction. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. A fleet of black, angular ships decloaked just outside geostationary orbit. Carriers, frigates, dropships, marked with no known insignia save one. A silver eagle grasping a broken planet. "Unidentified vessels have appeared in high orbit," screamed the technician. General Tarlek of the Planetary Defense Corps stormed into the command chamber. "Raise the orbital shield." Too late. 5 minutes. Human warships launched a cascade of nanite disruptors, stealth payloads that disabled shield relays mid-activation. Ground-to-orbit cannons refused to respond. The entire upper defense grid went offline. Then came the EMP barrage. Across the planet's surface, lights flickered and died. Skies turned blood orange. Banking networks failed. Civilian comms collapsed. Vehicles dropped from the sky. Confusion turned to panic in seconds. 10 minutes. The first wave of drop pods entered atmosphere, cutting through the clouds like thunderbolts. Anti-air batteries attempted to lock on, only to find their systems hacked and overwritten in real time. Inside the command bunker, General Tarlek gaped at the tactical display. What species, what technology can do this? The answer came not in words, but in footage. 13 minutes and 47 seconds. Iovan Prime surface, Central Spire Complex. A security drone's final transmission revealed a squad of armored figures phasing through the wall like ghosts. 2 guards lifted their plasma rifles. Too slow. The figures moved with brutal precision. One fired a short burst from a coil rifle. Silent, no muzzle flash. The guards dropped instantly. The figures advanced without a word. Jet black armor, tactical visors glowing faint blue, each step deliberate. Weapons compact and unfamiliar. No insignias, no visible tech beyond the terrifying efficiency of every motion. The drone caught a brief view of one soldier's face as he looked up, an unmistakably human face. Calm, focused, and utterly fearless. Then the feed went dark. 20 minutes. Panic swept the surface. Citizens rushed toward government shelters. Defense units mobilized, but their chain of command had been severed. Enemy forces, humans, struck surgically government hubs, communications towers, orbital relays, and energy plants. All with military precision, all without collateral damage. Not a single city was leveled. Not a single civilian center was bombed. This wasn't annihilation. It was domination. 30 minutes, Confederacy Senate Hall. "We are under siege," declared Prime Speaker Jelry. "We demand identification of the attackers. We believe they are humans, An aide stammered. Dead silence. Impossible, whispered Jelry. They're extinct, or hidden, or they're here, the aide said. Suddenly, the chamber's lights cut out. A hologram crackled to life above the speaker's platform. A woman in dark military uniform appeared. Her face was sharp, unreadable, and human. This message is for the Galactic Confederacy, she said. We are not here to negotiate. We are not here to conquer. You erased our colonies. You buried our name. You hunted our kind. And then you dare to call us legend. She leaned closer to the camera. Remember us now. The hologram blinked out. 45 minutes, orbit. Admiral Vez'tar stood frozen on the bridge of the Vox Magnifica, his staff scrambling in chaos around him. All communications blacked out, shouted one officer. We've lost contact with Fleet Command. Surface reports? Vez'tar demanded. They've taken 26 key installations. Entire sectors unresponsive. Our troops are surrendering without resistance. The population believes the invaders are gods. Vez'tar turned to the main viewport. Dozens of sleek black ships floated in low orbit, their weapon ports glowing faintly, waiting. Ow, he asked no one. An officer approached, trembling. Sir, we've decoded the attacker's insignia. It matches old Earth. The Terrans. Vez'tar reeled. That's not possible. They're myths. They're extinct. A booming voice echoed through the bridge speakers. No, said the human general on the broadcast. We are the storm. The ghost warriors of Earth. 57 minutes. Iovan Prime, Spire District 7. Rain fell, dark and oily, sizzling as it hit the scorched streets. The once imposing towers of the Confederacy's genetic research quarter now stood shattered, silent monuments to arrogance. Captain Mason Vale moved like a shadow through the debris. His armor, matte black with adaptive chameleon plating, shimmered against the environment. Two of his squad mates, Anders and Saito, flanked him, their helmets glowing faintly blue under the HUD-linked neural mesh. Their boots made no sound. Their heartbeats were regulated. Their minds linked in perfect synchronicity. This was Ghost Team 7. First to land, last to fall. Target nodes beneath the northeast quadrant, Anders reported, scanning with his retinal array. Genetic archives and biological data uplinks. Vale nodded. Objective is clear. Data wiped, system burn, then evac. No civilian kills unless necessary. Saito spoke up. Already intercepted 3 distress calls from this sector. No military presence left. Local guards bailed 15 minutes ago. Vale's voice was a calm growl. Doesn't matter. Stay sharp. Confederacy like surprises. The team advanced toward the shattered research dome, once considered one of the most secure facilities on Iovan Prime. Now, its shielding was disabled, its gate hacked open by Earth Cybernetics Division in under 12 seconds. They descended into the main corridor, sterile white walls cracked and flickering with failing lights. Ghosts in halls, Anders muttered. Exactly like they used to say. This whole place smells like fear. They weren't wrong. Human operatives hadn't been seen in over a century. That wasn't because they had died out. They had evolved. Flashback, 73 years earlier, the Ash Conference. Earth was on fire. Not literally, but diplomatically. The Confederacy had declared Earth's colonies illegal, denied them access to core trade lanes, sanctioned their development, and sabotaged their fusion tech. Eventually, they sent fleets. The Terran Council responded by disappearing. Humanity burned every public beacon, erased their digital presence, and sank into the void. In silence, they rebuilt, not as diplomats or settlers, but as ghosts. Warriors bred for vengeance. Underground, in black vaults of tungsten and cryoglass, Earth engineered the modern soldier. Not just cybernetic implants or strength enhancers, but genetic memory splicing, accelerated combat AI, and full-spectrum sensory integration. A human soldier didn't just fight. He adapted. Every wound became data. Every encounter, a lesson passed instantly to others in the field. The galaxy forgot them. Earth didn't forget. 1 hour and 2 minutes, genetic data core, Iovan Prime. Saito crouched at the uplink terminal, wiring a pulse detonator. This place ran experiments on live prisoners, alien dissidents, political traitors, all cataloged. Some were human hybrids. Vale looked over the archives, reading through lists of species crossed, entire lines of sentient life harvested and manipulated. They tried to recreate us, he said darkly. Try to build their own version of Terrans. Anders snorted. Didn't work. Of course not, Vale replied. You can't copy what you don't understand. They completed the data wipe. The archive burned, blue fire licking up the data towers. No screams, no alarms, just the silent death of 1,000 years of illegal science. Then motion. Contact, Saito warned, rifle rising. Multiple heat signatures. Southeast corridor. Vale raised his weapon. Hold fire. Out of the smoke stumbled a lone figure. An alien soldier, young, barely of age, his sidearm holstered, hands trembling as he raised them. Don't shoot, the alien stammered. I surrender. Please. I've heard stories about you. Vale lowered his rifle slowly, approaching with calm precision. We're not here to exterminate, he said. You don't need to die. The alien shook. But you're humans. You're supposed to be gone. My instructors said you were ghosts. Nightmares. Saito chimed in from behind. They weren't wrong. Vale looked the soldier in the eyes. Tell me, what did your history books say about us? That you waged war against everything. That you turned on each other. That you vanished after the War of the Rift. Vale nodded. That's what they wanted you to believe. He stepped closer. We didn't disappear. We watched. We remembered. And we waited. The young soldier dropped to his knees. Vale leaned in, voice a whisper. Now go. Tell your people the truth. 1 hour and 7 minutes. Vox Magnifica, Confederacy flagship. Alarms howled through the halls. Admiral Vez'tar, once regal and composed, now clutched the railing of the central command deck, sweat matting his fur. Every display showed the same. Red sectors. Fallen installations. Ghost signals from across Iovan Prime. A technician cried out, Admiral. All ground defense forces neutralized. Estimated casualties minimal. Tactical installations wiped. Strategic centers surgically gutted. They aren't conquering, Vez'tar whispered, horrified. They're performing. A demonstration. Who are they? The technician asked. Vez'tar turned, his voice barely a breath. They're the ones we turned into phantoms. We mocked them, and they came back sharper than before. A new broadcast lit up every screen. A human soldier stood in darkness, visor glowing like a burning star. You thought we were extinct, he said. You were wrong. The reckoning. 1 hour and 10 minutes. Deep command vault, Iovan Prime. The air in the Confederacy's most secure bunker was thick with panic and recycled oxygen. Admiral Vez'tar stood inside the heart of the high command vault, deep beneath the capital's crust, surrounded by officers who once barked orders but now whispered like prey. Monitors showed orbital silence. Earth's fleet looming above like a pack of hungry wolves, unmoving, unchallenged. Ground reports came in broken bursts, each one worse than the last. Entire regiments surrendering. Officers defecting. Cities going dark. No bombs. No mass civilian slaughter. Only silence and precision. The Confederacies might have been dissected in under 60 minutes. Activate the Scorch Protocol, Vez'tar snarled. If they want this world, they'll take it as a cinder. The room hesitated. One general cleared his throat. Sir, the Scorch Command requires unanimous consent from planetary security officers. They're all dead, another whispered. Then override it. Vez'tar barked. Already tried. Earth's infiltration AI has locked out our controls. They've hijacked our internal systems. Then we detonate the core manually. Before the order could be relayed, the lights cut out. Darkness. Total. Then a soft thud. Another. And another. Footsteps. The emergency red lights flickered to life, casting long shadows across the chamber. The Confederacy's elite drew sidearms with trembling hands. The doors to the vault hissed open, and in stepped 4 human soldiers. No words, no insignia, no threat display, just presence, measured, heavy, inescapable. Vez'tar raised his pistol with shaking claws. I'll kill you myself. He didn't even see the shot. One flash, one whisper from the rifle of the point soldier, and the weapon in Vez'tar's hand disintegrated. You won't die today, a deep voice said. From the shadows, a fifth figure stepped in, unmasked. General Ava Cole. I want you alive, Admiral. You're going to talk. Vez'tar spat. To you? A relic of a savage race. Cole stepped forward, her eyes cold steel. Your people enslaved ours, glassed 3 colonies, erased us from every archive. You made your children believe we were fairy tales. Vez'tar growled. Because you were. A cancer on the galaxy. It was mercy to remove you. Then why are we still here? Cole asked. Vez'tar said nothing. Cole raised her voice. Your empire doesn't need to be destroyed. Just shaken. We chose not to level this planet. That was mercy. You think this little performance will break us? He hissed. No, Cole replied. But it will unmake your illusion of superiority. She walked to the vault console and inserted a neural key. The screens flickered. Planet-wide broadcasts began transmitting to every device, every station, every orbiting ship. The footage was raw. Human soldiers disabling weapons with surgical strikes, securing hostages unharmed, disabling drones with electromagnetic bursts, and walking through fire like they had trained for it since birth. We let this be seen, Cole said, facing the stunned officers. Your citizens will ask who we are, and they'll find the truth. 1 hour and 25 minutes, Confederacy broadcast. The feed reached every corner of the galaxy. A Terran fleet floating in silence above Iovan Prime. Cities spared. Leaders captured, not killed. Strategic assets disabled, not erased. And a message. Humanity spoke through General Cole. To the galaxy, this is not conquest. This is memory. You tried to erase us, but we are still here. Stronger, sharper, quieter. You may call us ghosts, but remember, ghosts never forget. The Confederacy's illusion of invulnerability shattered in an instant. 2 hours, Earth fleet high orbit. The human ships began vanishing one by one, re-engaging cloaking fields and warping away with chilling efficiency. They didn't claim territory. They didn't leave ambassadors or demands. They left a warning beacon in orbit, its signal repeating endlessly across open channels. Earth remembers. Do not test the silence again. We are the storm beneath the myth. Later, Confederacy Outer Worlds. News of Iovan Prime's fall spread like plasma fire. In the industrial slave worlds of the Varnex chain, the workers rose up, emboldened by the idea that their overlords weren't gods, but cowards humbled in 1 hour. In the border colonies, species once loyal to the Confederacy began holding secret talks, wondering if they could negotiate with Earth's ghosts. And across a dozen war councils, the question echoed like a drumbeat. What if the humans come again? Back on Earth, Black Site Command. General Cole stood before the Terran Council, helmet under one arm. They'll retaliate, one counselor warned. We hit their heart. Cole nodded. Let them. Another asked, will they fear us now? No, she said. Not yet. Then she looked skyward through the armored dome above. But they'll stop laughing.